Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations, Dufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, we are powering through, getting to know some very interesting people, some very talented people, some very gifted people. I'm enjoying the conversations. They're not really interviews, and it's a journey, and we get there all together, and it's amazing. Having said that, I have someone that you need to meet. This person is an artist. This person is a musician. This person has a new album called 23 coming out on May the 7th. Today is Cinco de Mayo. So in 2 days, his new project, 23, drops. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the singer known as Jamai. Hi, babe.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, how are you today?
All of the beautiful people. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. Notwithstanding, I went to the doctors this morning, had to start a new medication, but I'll be 40 in September. So it is what it is. Yeah. September 20th.
Isn't it amazing when we were younger? When we were younger, we thought this was old.
I know, right? Now I wish somebody
it was like, now it's like, yeah, it's like, it's like the party really just getting started.
It really is. I love that you said that because it's so true. I'm standing on the precipice of everything that I never, like all my life, chasing. And now it's just like that calm. Like my grandmother used to always say to me, you know, you're in the tunnel, but now you can see the light. Well, now I'm outside of the tunnel, still haven't reached the destination, but now I'm out in the sunlight and we're still moving, the momentum. It's a lot. How are you today? Tell me.
I'm blessed. Life is kicking my behind. I'll tell you that. But I'm grateful, and I'm super excited. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. If my life wasn't a little chaotic right now in terms of just the excitement and the workload and just all of the new things that's coming about. Yeah. So I'm ready for the ride, because the reality is we'll never truly be ready. It'll never truly be a perfect circumstance, a perfect sunny day. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. And my thing is, I've learned that, you know, when life kicks our tail, it's usually a lesson so that we don't make a mistake up the road. It's usually something that just doubles back and says, oh, watch this, you know, so that we can continue on our journey and not be interrupted. Because, you know, I say to myself, I'm glad that I had all my turbulence before, instead of later on in life. I'm glad that I got it all out of the way, grew up without a mother or a father. I'm glad that all that happened before now. Because now I don't want anything to interfere with what I'm doing.
Nothing to interfere. Like I'm so glad that I don't have to endure that kind of pain, that kind of struggle, those trials. And that's not to say that there won't be more, but I've such a load of information and experience and wisdom to take me forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sidebar, I love that shirt.
Thank you. Shout out to my stylist, Talia Miller, who she basically makes whatever I asked her. Yeah. So yeah.
And the glass.
And the glass, see, that's crazy that you're asking, because we need to support more Black women, right? Yeah. The glasses I've been wearing them for my whole press run.
Yeah.
For this album. They are, now I couldn't tell you what they said, but it's a little bumblebee right here, right?
Uh-huh.
And the young lady, her name is Aaliyah Scott. She's also a musician from Philadelphia. Yeah. And they call her MG. She's one of my good friends, and she has a line of cool aesthetic glasses.
Yeah.
Called Don't Be Shady. So her business. So shout out to Don't Be Shady. She always looks out, always takes care of me, and we just gotta keep supporting Black businesses and Black women and as a whole.
I agree. So we have history, and I want you to tell
So we go back. One thing I admire about you is our paths have crossed multiple times over the last maybe decade or so, or a
Yes.
little over.
Yes.
And you've evolved, I've evolved.
Yep.
We've always maintained such a mutual respect and a great association with each other. And I don't even know what you was doing that day, but probably like this was
I
like
was a
12 years
spokesman.
ago.
I was a spokesmodel for the Fiat company. They were hiring models, and at that time I had muscles. I still got them, but they asked me to just wear the shirt and stand out there. And with there was another Asian model with me, and we just
You
kind
were
of
being a hunk. That's what you were doing.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
You were being a hunk.
Pretty
and I was
much.
performing.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was so mad about that day too, because I ended up staying because my thing is I had modeling experience in Paris. So I stayed to the completion of the job. They paid the Asian model and he left prematurely.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were like, "Are you
Wow.
gonna leave too?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna leave at the
I'm a
end of the
professional.
job because you paid
For sure.
me to be here."
For sure.
So,
Isn't that something?
yeah, well, get this. We don't know where he is, but we know where we are. So
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And it's those multiple little decisions of integrity that you've made that has maintained and sustained us to be where we are today, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
You look amazing. When I met
Thank you so much.
when I met you, you had the colored hair. It's always
Really?
been
Yeah.
it's always been
Yeah.
a
Always
thing.
been a
Tell
thing.
me
Yeah.
what started it.
So it really, I wish I had something more profound to say,
Uh-huh.
but I was shooting a music video, and I had a vision for an all red look, all red scene.
Yeah.
I did it, and I think that was, some of us, we have ideas, but we're scared, so we give excuses for it. I don't know if maybe that was subconsciously my excuse. I'm doing this red hair for this music video, and it stuck. And that was probably like 2013, 2012. And when I went back to Black, I felt too regular. I felt
Yeah.
too normal. I felt like I wasn't able to stand out, and people always say to me, like, why don't you go blue? Why don't you do yellow? And it's like, I don't do this to be seen. I don't do it to just be radical. I do it as an artistic brand and as an ID. So you can ID who I am, and you know, when you see the red hair, you see the bull with the red hair, you already know it's me. And then when you see somebody else doing it, you already know that you already know.
I love how you caught yourself. Yes, well, clearly Jamai knows and understands press relations. So that day, I was a spokesman and you were performing.
For sure.
And I got to see your performance. You had dancers,
Really?
all dressed and costuming. And I must say, you were quite the act. I never
Thank you so much.
Forgot you.
Thank you so much.
I never forgot you. And the crazy thing was bumping into you years later online. I was like, is that him? And then it was you that was actually like, oh, I remember you. Like you were, and I'm like, oh, that was you. That kind of moment. It was that kind of moment. But I remember one thing and it's so funny that we're going to talk about your new album 23 and, and that it drops in 2 days because today's the 5th, it drops on the 7th. One thing that I've always loved about you, and I'm just going to say this, I don't know a man today that can do what you do vocally. You sing from, no. You sing from a place that is just, I don't want to say pain, but I want to say from a place of feeling to where you feel what you're saying, even when you're singing it. And like, I remember, when I was looking at, because I started following you online and you would do covers and you like things that the regular artists never thought about. or
Mm,
let's just go there, or may not have been vocally prepared to do.
mm,
You set new standards for their songs.
mm.
And I noticed that. So it started to be something that I came to your page for because I wanted to hear your rendition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a
Wow.
you got chops. And wait, I ain't done. This is just the opening. Then on top of that, you go from that to headlining your own tour in Europe.
Mm,
I remember
mm.
that. I remember that. I saw you running around in them costumes all over. It was in Japan, all over Japan. And I saw that. I saw that.
You saw that? You
Yeah, I saw
synced
that.
it?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I seen it. I seen you running
Oh
around.
man,
And it
thank
was
you, thank you so much,
amazing. And it
thank
was
you so much.
amazing. And what I loved was, so many people, because see, I'm one of those people where I got a break in New York, but the break was the director told me at Boston Model Management, you have the model look, go to Paris. That was my break. And I went. And it was like, okay, well, yeah, go run around Europe, make some money, get your name out there. And you went. You went. And there was no fear. And I remember you put like show 300, show 5, like show
Mm,
this, show that. And you were,
man.
and get it. The people loved you.
Mm.
They loved what you were doing. And you're one of those artists where when you step on stage, we already know you can sing. We know you're gonna sing. Ain't gonna be no, listen, I'm sorry to say it, ain't gonna be no lip syncing. Ain't gonna be
Absolutely
no lip
not
syncing.
doing.
See, I make pop music, but some of my
Right.
songs have because pop is so, like, that's one thing about pop, and Lady Gaga brought this to light. Pop is so intricate. It's really repetition. You do the first part, then you do the second part, then you do the third part, then you return to the first part, then you do the second part, it's really strategic. There's no room for you vocally to really show your voice, especially if your voice is not suited for popular music. But I'm suited for that. But still, it's acrobatics. So, but my thing is, so when you step on stage, you hear lots of, on a pop performance, you hear the background vocals, you hear all the extra shit. I looked at you up there, and you singing down. You just singing down.
Listen. We got that's the funny thing. So it's, first of all, thank you. I appreciate it. And as you know, as an artist, it's always refreshing to hear or be appreciated in any way. A lot of the work that we do as artists, these performances, our outfits, our pictures, our covers, our projects, a lot of it goes unnoticed. And the work that goes into putting these things out is not even worth telling, because people wouldn't even be able to relate. But I find myself, like, we just, as creatives and as God created beings, if we stick to the thing the thing that's in here, and we break against the societal barriers.
Yes.
As a Black man, I'm not allowed to have red hair. I'm not to be up on the stage in China with a latex and hanging upside down and still singing like soulful singing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's a format. Society has given a format for a Black artist that sounds like me.
Yeah.
You're supposed to loot their houses, not a home, their whole career. You feel me?
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like, I'm gonna go for, what do I have to lose? You know what I'm saying? As up and coming artists and as independent creatives, we have nothing to lose, because all you can do is do what inspires you. My tour was so grueling. It was so going in these different countries, and the culture shock and the time zones was so grueling for me as my first tour.
Yeah.
But every night, what made it worth it was when I got on the stage, and the stage would rise up, and the frogs and the crowd. It's worth it. If you are going to go through all the things that you go through being an entrepreneur, a creative, an artist of any kind, at least let the art itself feed you, because you rarely get the satisfaction from anywhere else.
Yeah.
People won't understand. They won't understand you getting up at 4 a.m. They won't understand you learning your craft and practicing the hours the hours of work that you put in, that is not even interesting enough to post for people to acknowledge.
Yeah.
but it's qualified to
Necessary.
be great. You know what I'm saying? So you already
So,
know.
so get this. I just want to say something to you real quick, and it's gonna make you laugh. Your art is noticed. Your work is noticed. They just try to act like they don't notice you because they're jealous.
Mm.
That's all. I've been watching you for a long time. They know who you are, sweetheart. They know exactly who you are. They know your sound. They know who you are when you walk through the door. It's just
Yeah,
they're jealous,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And then they're mad because you won't give up.
Mm,
You won't give up. Nothing
mm,
about you says I'm gonna quit. And get
mm,
it. As artists, we feel it sometimes. Mel, maybe I should take a break.
mm.
And then
Yeah,
and then what happens? You put your guitar in your hand and you're like,
yeah.
oh no, I can't break
No
from
way.
this.
No way.
No way
No
at
way.
all.
I can't. I literally, I was just talking to somebody yesterday and I said, there's so much BS that comes along with this that the only reason I'm doing it is because I wouldn't find life worth living.
Yep.
It seems so dramatic. It seems so dramatic when you hear people say, you gotta love it enough and you gotta love it like you love air. You need it like you need to breathe. But in no way is that an exaggeration for me. You know what I'm saying? So for
It's,
some people, it is a thing that they enjoy, and there are other things that I like to do, but this is what I love to do. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And I don't know. It wouldn't life wouldn't be worth living to me personally.
Yeah.
With all the things that life has to offer, it
Yeah.
just wouldn't be worth living for me if I couldn't do what I'm doing.
Yeah, my doctor said to me today, because I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and we were just talking about some of the traumas that I've suffered in my life recently and getting through them. And we were talking about the fact that I started this new YouTube channel and platform in November. And from November until now, you are my 160th interview. And
And
he
you
said,
interviewed everybody.
yeah, and I'm not even done. I'm not even done. I got surprises coming to this network.
You the
So
shit.
yeah, what happened was he said, I was like, I just have this energy to do it. And he was like, it's not the energy. He said, you're doing what you love. You're doing what you love. So it just wraps rings around people because they're taking a break. A lot of and you said something and you were so right. A lot of people want to get into entertainment because they have abandonment issues and they want to be seen. It's not about the art of putting your own ideas through melody and song out to the world, sharing your experiences. That when I hear people like I had an interview yesterday, and she was asking, like I was supposed to be interviewing and having a conversation with her. She was asking me, well, what about this song? And what did you mean here? And I caught this, and you said this in the lyric. And I'm looking at her like, and I said to her, thank you. Thank you. you know it's an amazing thing. I was looking at your stories real quick, and something popped out at me, and it's a young you, and it says my promo photo for my telegram flyer back when I was 15 years old, singing to girls in high school. I was doing J telegrams long before I made it a business. I became aware that you used to do singing telegrams. When I started singing, I was doing singing telegrams, but you stayed with it. And not only,
Wow.
yeah, but wait, here's the kicker. Not only, and you know this, not only did you stay with it, but you were covered by the news. They
Sure.
acknowledged.
Few, a few platforms, and
Yeah.
that's so crazy because most people, when I say singing telegrams, they literally it's a foreign concept. It is. So to even hear you say that you used to do it is like wow. So we another way we're connected because a lot of artists. I have some artist friends. They're like, I don't know how you do it. I can't imagine going up to somebody whatever, and they are so
That's an
because
untapped
artists.
market. It's an untapped
It it
market.
is it is indeed untapped, and it is just it's truly a testament, man, of what God can do in your life
Yes.
because they say when the word tells us that like everything you have is already everything you need is already inside you.
Yep.
Everything you need to make money, everything you need for love and peace and success and joy It is literally already inside you. You don't need
Yes.
no other resources, no other contacts, no
Right.
other. And I think J Telegrams was, and the other side to that is, I have to say this, is I was doing that since I was 15,
Yeah.
and I probably didn't see a sizable growth in my clientele until maybe 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that I did from when I was 15
Right.
to 10, 15 years later.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? To
Yep.
get to where I am now. And so, from the most practical way, man, if you just stick with it. If you do anything long enough, you'll get good at it. You'll hit a sweet spot, man.
That's it.
And I used to, my pride would have me, because I started at such a young age with the telegrams. I was getting business because it was cute, because I was a kid, and it was like all he could sing, my little raspy voice. And by the time I turned like 19, 18, 19, I felt like it was, I had outgrown it. I was a real artist now. This was beneath me in so many ways, because I was doing this when I was young. And it wasn't until years later, people would still call me, but it wasn't until I woke up, and it was like the Holy Spirit let me know, like, for one, this is your purpose. You're missing out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
And lastly, the response that I get from people,
Yeah.
it's got to be the most rewarding and emotional thing. Can you imagine going to somebody's house who's had a stroke, and they haven't left the house in 5 years
Yeah.
to celebrate their birthday, and their daughter calls you to go sing to them while they're in the bed because they can't leave the house to celebrate? Or family members who haven't spoken in years, and
Yeah.
they have this moment, and it mends families back together. And I know this, and this is what I always appreciate and have appreciated about you, is half the time your platforms are to uplift other people.
Yeah.
And I've seen it where I remember at one point you would be posting people or tagging them, and then they would block you, or they would want to hear
Yeah.
from you. You'd be like, well, that's their loss. But to the point where you would support people with no motive,
Yeah.
with no personal gain to it.
Right.
You literally are uplifting people, and I think you can understand the feeling I feel doing singing telegrams, where you see what giving does for yourself. When you give, it's really almost like it's selfish, because when I give you something and I get the satisfaction of seeing you blessed
Yeah.
and seeing you flourish from me giving,
Yeah.
I sing to you and now you crying. I sing to you and now you getting proposed to, or I sing to you and it made your day. That's such a bigger gift for me.
It is.
Way bigger gift for me. I walk away with so much more. I feel like I walk away with more
Yeah.
than a lot of my clients walk away with,
Yeah.
and then I get paid to do it.
Yeah.
So I just I hope to all of your listeners out there to take a page from your book, that giving and showing love to other people and shining light publicly and privately with genuine hearts is something that'll sustain you and persevere you or propel you to heights that you can't even imagine.
Yeah. Just to let you know, all them people that blocked me, they've unblocked me now.
Period.
Yeah, they've unblocked me.
Sure. I mean, of course they have. Because, and look, the follow or the refollow is unwarranted. Like I'm good. Like I'm good on you. But I just, and I'm sure, I only remember like one instance where you have posted somebody and you was like, well, I guess they won't be on the guest list when I'm. I
I
was like, yeah.
I guess they won't be able to get in.
It's true.
Won't be on the guest list.
It's their law.
And that's so true, because people, unfortunately, Jamai, people do not get on the bandwagon until the train has left the station and damn near arrived at the destination. Then it's like, oh, we knew you could do it. Oh, we this, any other. But if you take too long in their eyes, if you take too long, they like, nah, ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing there. It took me 20 years to get here.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm here.
You can't roll over out the bed and get here.
Uh-uh.
When I was on, I got something funny because I feel like you can relate to this. and I've never told anybody this, right?
Uh-oh,
So
here
when I
we
was,
go.
and I don't want to say what scenario I was in, but I had a big opportunity, and
Right,
there were other singers there,
right.
and we in a hotel room, and we at the gym, we in
Yeah,
the gym, it's just
yeah,
our regular other people coming in, and it's like here we are with this big opportunity,
yeah,
trying to get in shape, but
yeah,
the reality is you can't get ready on game day. You feel me? You can't get ready when it's game day.
yeah,
You got to put that work in years,
yep,
months before, so that you already there and you only expounding upon your perfection. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
But I thought you would appreciate that because
I
I know
do,
you know.
because that's the thing. Like, it's like, I've been recently saying God doesn't favor the strong, the weak, the beautiful, the kind, the bold, the anointed, the blessed. He favors the prepared.
For sure.
I was telling the story of how in the Bible it talks about 5 wise virgins and 5 foolish virgins. And they were told that the bridegroom was coming, that they needed to get oil for their lamps so that they could go into the bed chamber, the chamber. And 5 played around, thought they had time, this is, that, and the other. And they knew what they were going to do. They were going to
Mm-hmm.
ask the wise ones, can we have some of your oil? But the great thing was, I realized that I was in the wise group, because it was like, no, you can't have none of my oil. You should have done what you were supposed to do. Now check you later. I'm going inside. And, I realized that a lot of people don't realize that. One thing about you, and I'm going to say this, I've been watching you grind for such a long time. I'm looking at you now, this little 15-year-old. I've been watching you
A
grind.
young buck.
Yeah, but I've been watching you grind in this industry for so long. And I want you to understand that if I've been watching you, so has everybody else. People in positions of power and authority. They've
For
been
sure.
watching because they want to see how long, how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
How bad do you want it? And then my thing is, I was in the rat race, and then something happened. The
Something
divine spoke.
happened.
Yeah, the divine spoke to me and was like, baby, this is not your way. And then I took the route of independent entrepreneur, and I sit here now. I own all of my masters. I own everything that I've put out. Every word I've ever spoken is in some book or trademarked or copyrighted. Like, and people will say, oh, well, it took you so long. It's like, yeah, but I have so much intellectual property that I'm never going to need to work again. I'll keep working because I enjoy to, but I don't need to.
For sure.
you
For
know
sure.
I've established my business.
For
Where
sure.
the point of a record label is to get from you the material. Then they vault the material, and whatever happens to you happens to you, but then they go in the vault and pull that, and they make money constantly over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. So I became my own vault.
For sure.
Vault. It's like,
For
I'm gonna go in
sure.
here and we're gonna pull this out, we're gonna dust this off, we're gonna remix, we're gonna remaster, and we're gonna give it to them another way. Okay, they heard it in the video this time,
Mm-hmm.
now let's offer it in a book.
For sure.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's I
And
just
that's that is the premise of wealth.
yeah,
That's how wealth is created
yep,
in its simplest form, and that is how art is liberated.
yep,
Like the fact that you are able to own your art,
yep,
legally and
yep,
intellectually own your art,
yep,
then you can truly express it. You
yep.
can truly express it.
without
Sometimes,
without bridle, no
for
bridle, no
sure,
no hold,
for
no
sure.
no chain, no
Hmm.
tie to anything.
For
And
sure.
that's you know what, you just said something. You said that's the key to true wealth. And that's the problem with people. You got too many people out here trying to get rich.
Hmm.
They're not trying to be wealthy.
They want to be wealthy.
They want to be
They
rich.
want to be. They want to be rich. They don't want to be wealthy spiritually. They don't want to be wealthy physically. They don't want to be wealthy mentally. How many celebrities and people of color, I mean, people of power,
Yeah.
commit suicide, and
Yeah.
they have everything that we could
Everything
think. The
that we
list,
think is, you know,
anything we could touch, they
yeah,
have. Any
mhm,
tangible thing, they have or have access to it.
yeah,
And things that we can't even think of, they have access to. But that has always been my prayer to get where I want to go
Yeah.
and not lose my mind and be at peace.
Yeah.
And I think
For
a
your
big
soul.
part of that,
Mm.
that being able to retain those qualities is ownership,
Yeah.
because think about it. You and I, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, as successful people,
Yeah.
I still can't understand everything in your mind that's meant for you, and you as well for me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
we have the most genuine intentions for each other. So imagine what a suit that's not a creative, that's
Right.
all about money, and
Yeah.
that signed hundreds of other artists.
Yeah.
They don't even have the ability to truly want the best for you.
Yeah.
And so I think it has to be something that you weigh. You weigh your options. I don't want to say every single artist that got signed to a label it didn't work out, or
Right.
they're not happy, because another thing is the qualities that you and I possess to be the cameraman, to be the audio
Yeah.
tech, to be the graphic designer of your own, the video edit. Everybody don't have those qualities, and
Yeah. The whole boardroom of the
they
people.
need the whole boardroom. And more power to you. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have the whole boardroom, but I ain't giving up my power to
Yeah.
have the boardroom. I'm
Right.
gonna learn what I can learn and employ who I need as time goes on.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. Over the years I've watched you, I thought there was some sadness there. Just because, I could tell you want to sing. That is what you want to do for your life. And I saw at times it didn't look like it was going to happen.
Mm.
I saw you have opportunities. I saw you get feedback from the best of the best. And they're like, oh, you're simply amazing. And you're this, that, and the other. And after the cameras go off and the crowd dies down,
Yeah.
then they're not doing nothing with you. They're not invested.
Mm.
But I'm here today to give you your flowers because your time has come.
Appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
I love the way you put that. That was the best, most eloquent way you could have said what you just said.
Yeah.
Because if you know, I
Yeah.
heard what you said.
Yeah,
And
I
if
know
they ain't
you
hear
heard
it,
what I
they
said.
hear it.
That was for get it.
Yeah.
There people watching.
Yeah.
That was for you. That was for you. Your time has
I
come.
appreciate you.
You didn't burn yourself out. You didn't, no,
Mm.
listen, you said it out of your own mouth. If you keep doing it, you're going to succeed by default. By default. So let's talk about it. 23. I love the album art. It's so vulnerable.
Mm.
It's vulnerable. The front cover and the back, it's just so vulnerable. And I even saw, and we're not going to talk about this we're going to talk about this briefly, but I even saw there was some backlash. And you had to comment and address it like, listen, this is a project, this is art, this is what it should be. Art is about expression. And I'm just like, and listen, as I'm watching, because I make my rounds, I'm like, here we go again with this jealousy thing. I'm like, here we go. I'm like, what? Artists can't have bodies. Artists can't be muscular. Artists can't sing like the best anointed church boy and pop star and rock star and have an amazing body. He got to be rail thin. Like
rail thin.
Yeah, but like in olden days, because I have friends that have gone on and they've chosen other careers. But in the older times, there were weight restrictions. They wanted them to look a certain way, just like in fashion. They wanted them to be a certain weight and look a certain way. And I'm not going to say that they're doing that now. I would hope that they're not. But yeah, they wanted them to maintain a certain ideal weight. And it was like, are you serious? It was meaningless to me because it was basically, we just want to control everything you do. You can't even wipe your own behind or ass, I'll say. You can't even wipe your own ass without us saying and giving consent. But I will say this. What changed the game was social media.
For sure.
Because literally, we can put ourselves out to market to a whole base of customers. Sure. A whole base. Literally, I was on Instagram, and I've been on Instagram exclusively for 6 years. That was where I went viral. That is where I stayed. I didn't build TikTok. I didn't build Twitter. I didn't build Facebook. I didn't go nowhere else. I went where they loved me.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn around and then they started messing with creators and I'm getting all of this and all of this censorship and all of that. And I said, you know what? I was going to take all my content down and just back out. And then some advisors said to me, don't do that. Leave it up there. Prove that you said it, because, timestamps and things like that. Prove that you said it. But now my next wave is YouTube and TikTok. I'm building them both at the same time. TikTok is exploding. They're loving me over there. And it's just like, wow. And I mentioned that I have music. And after I said something, because I do these monologues, these written monologues, one's called The Insane Fashion Asylum. And then the other is called My Black History is 24/7, 365. And then I go into Black is beautiful, Black is exquisite, Black is eccentric, Black is great, Black is rock. Black, without the contributions of Black people, the world would be bland, is what I'm basically saying. And then they were like, oh my God, we love you. And then it was like, what do you do? So I put up a video that's actually going now. People are like, and it's just me telling them where I've been and what I've done. And last week, now mind you, I hadn't had an influx in listeners to my music in a while. Last week alone, I had 400 people listen to my album. Alone.
Wow.
In 1 week, like literally in a matter of days. And I said to myself, this is what the industry is dreading.
For sure.
This is what they're dreading. Because see, we can talk, like we did before. I've walked away from some very lucrative opportunities because I'm a seer. I'm a shaman. I'm a seer. I see things. I don't just see what's standing in front of me. I see down the line. So I knew down the line I would get screwed, literally. So I just was like, no. And I walked away and they said, oh, you're crazy. And, oh, you just want to sing in coffee shops. I'm trying to make sure you sing for millions of people. And, you'll never get anywhere. You'll never do. And then I had people actually doing things behind the scenes for 15 years, tampering with things to make sure I didn't get ahead.
Yeah.
But look at me now.
Yeah.
Look at me now. And look at you.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're missing no meals, babe.
You
don't look like you're missing not a single meal. Okay? Okay? And get it. At the end of the day, that's what art should do for us. It is a profession like everyone else. If you ain't hungry, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. Everybody thinks, oh, you have to be larger than life and you have to do this and you have to do that. But nobody wants to focus on the sacrifices. Listen, I love Lil Nas X. I loved his Grammy performance.
Me too.
But get this, I saw him on stage because I caught it. He posted it on his Facebook. And my Facebook is private. It's for my classmates and things from school. So you can't even send me one. So I saw that he posted it because I follow him. And I watched it. And I literally said to myself, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. And, people around me are like, wow, like you really, like, what do you want to do? And I said, everything, but I don't want to do that. And they were just like, I have different ideas and I'll share them. I don't mind giving a live performance, but you know how we are. Sound engineering has to be everything because I need my reverb, I need my smoke, I need all of that. But when I give a performance, that's a one-time thing. And that's live. I'm more into residuals. So my idea back in 2008, when I got into a fight with my best friend because we were supposed to go and audition for Geffen and RCA and all these other people. And I said, I'm not going, I'm going to launch my own. And she's like, you're fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy. She doesn't think that now.
Right.
But, I knew that my push was more so the internet because what I want to do is take my happy tale back to Europe. And I have ideas for visions and different things like that I want to do where I can actually create the videos, the music videos, create them, make them the visuals, make them really good, make them very fashion forward, and then sell them. Like with a live performance, I will do them, especially when I'm asked, because people are asking, like I'm in the fashion community, still in the fashion community, is where I started. So I have several fashion designers and people like, oh, you got to come here, you got to sing this, you got to do this, you got to walk by runway, you got to do that. And I will do those things. But the bulk of my money will be in the sale of the actual intellectual property. I'm holding on to that. So I'm going to get with my own team. And that's the thing. You don't hear that a lot. I'm going to get together with my own production team, my own director, because I'm going to be co-directing, and we're going to put these visuals together, and then we're going to put them out to market. This is how it's done. You know, I don't just do visuals, and I mean music videos for YouTube.
Right. Well,
I don't, and that's why, yeah, and that's, I got quiet there because I had to get my face back together because I was about to get ready. Like I like, to me, it's just, no, I do this to be put out to mass market. I do this so that people can have a little piece of me and buy that piece and look at that piece all the time and play it. And every time, you know, I get from that point of sale. And that's the thing. Like I got into it with another person the other night, but we love each other. He'll be all right. I just had to give him business sense, and he wasn't really ready for that. But that's where my mind is. My business acumen is so high because I made a lot of mistakes. So then I had to like learn what I was doing on the fly. And I did a lot of research and a lot of studying. You know, I read those books. Look at this. I read those books, All You Need to Know About the Music Industry, Music Business, Donald Passman. I read those. And then what happens? I reach out to Donald Passman. I talk to Donald Passman. I show Donald Passman what I can do. Donald Passman says, I'm busy. I can't take you on right now, but here's a short list of 5 attorneys that can take you on. He gave me the list himself. Right. And my lawyer that I have today in Fresno, I got from Donald Passman himself, where most people just bought the book and can't even have a conversation with him. But the point that I'm bringing it up is I'm a different type of person. You're a different type of person. Yeah. And people will respect that and see that. I would like to see you do another tour, especially overseas, because my thing is the money is good. There are even people that I would love to connect you with that do things because my thing is you need to be performing. I love what you did with your tour, but you need to be performing at fashion events where they pay you $2 million.
For sure. For sure.
You need to get in with that. Like you need to get in with that community, because that community during COVID and the shutdown and all of that, they didn't suffer.
Right.
That community didn't suffer. Topside here in the States, they did, but not those European people with all that money and them Sikhs in Dubai. They didn't suffer.
Right. They didn't
suffer. Those are the tables you need to be sitting at. For sure. And those are the tables that I'm aiming to sit at. I'm not aiming to sit here. Why? Y'all playing around. It's not here for me. It's over there. So, you know, let's go on. Tell me about 23. Let's go on. Because we're talking like we know each other. See, we haven't talked in a while. We talking like we know each other.
And I think, you know, you said a lot of profound things, but one of the greatest things to remember is everybody has their route. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
And you can get to the mountain 20 different ways.
Yep.
To the mountaintop 20 different ways, 120,000 different ways.
Yep.
But see, that's why the word tells us that we are uniquely made, that we are set apart, that we are peculiar people.
Yes.
And I feel like, you know, you might not be into performing, you may not be into songwriting, whatever your thing is, if you will perfect that thing, God will give you the grace to succeed at it. But it's the part of perfecting it, it's the part of dedicating that work towards it. And that's why I always, you know, I'm an avid reader. I love to read, even like examples like Donald Passman and I've done it all, especially because I'm an overthinker. So I do a lot of research on every little thing, and I plan things out and I write everything down. But you know, God has been showing me that the reality is you do what you need to do, and everything else will fall into place. Because when you get these books and you get these, you know, everybody got a course now, and everybody has, this is the way to cryptocurrency. This is the way to TikTok. This is the way to beat the algorithm. Everybody has the answer or a hack,
Yeah.
When the bottom line is, it's all this shit is changing
Yeah.
every day.
Every day.
So whatever Donald Passman wrote in
Yeah.
whatever volume, it's most of it is non-existent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It changes by the day, and I've recently embarked on my TikTok. You know, I've been
Yeah.
getting love on TikTok because I had to get out my own way.
Yeah.
See, us as artists, we look at ourselves and we present ourselves a certain way,
Yeah.
but the reality is the people decide.
Yeah.
The people decide, and sometimes my opinion is the people don't know what the hell they talking about. But
Exactly.
that's
I was
as an
waiting. I was
artist,
waiting.
oh,
I was waiting.
as an artist, and I'll be like, what the hell are y'all
Yeah.
listening to?
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. The reality is, if you want this, then there are steps to do that.
Yeah.
And you need to do what's true to you to get to that. And you know, like it's everything evolves, everything changes, and soon it won't be TikTok, it'll be something else.
It'll be something else.
Soon it won't be streaming, it'll
Yeah.
be something else.
Something
But
else.
the reality is, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just the medium to get to the people changes.
Yeah.
The format changes, but it's the
It gets a
same
little harder
thing.
too. It gets a little harder
It
because
gets,
once
it gets a lot
once a
harder.
whole bunch of people do it, they want to shut the door.
Exactly. The algorithm, that's what TikTok is.
Yeah.
TikTok is on the verge of changing its algorithm
Yeah.
to be less easy and accessible,
Yeah.
because more people have come to it. But
Yeah.
that's what, as creatives, as business savvy people, you hop on things before
Yeah.
it gets too big. And then
Yeah.
by the time everybody on TikTok, now you on to something else,
Yeah.
because it's the evolution. When you think
Yeah.
about before music videos,
Yeah.
and there were artists that was, you know, that had a great point of,
Yeah.
music videos have ruined radio. Now it's
Yeah.
all about this big flashy, what you look, when it's not really about the music, which is true.
Yeah.
But we don't look at that now because we are used to music being, or visuals being, a part of the creative process.
Yeah.
And so now when we think of, well, in order for artists to, or order for fans to really invest in your music, they got to invest in the story. They
Yeah.
need you on TikTok. It's just the reality and the
Yeah.
evolution of change. Now, what I decided to do was get out of my own way. No, I don't want to do all the different things that they say you got to do on TikTok. But maybe if I loosen up a little, and maybe if I use TikTok or use other mediums in a way that's true, authentic to me,
Yeah.
then it could work for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think we just got to get out of our own way.
Don't
Stop
be
listening,
afraid
because
of.
a lot of times,
I want to
a
say
lot
one.
of times it's other people, but a
Don't
lot
be
of times
afraid
it's
to
us
use.
too.
Listen, I started with
Listen.
you a long time ago. I want to interject because I just want to say on TikTok, don't be afraid to use your beauty.
For sure.
See, when I was in Paris, that's why I interjected right there. Because I don't want you, yes, get out of your own way. I've been watching you a long
Yeah.
time. I've been watching. Don't be afraid to use that. You know, you got a lot of men around you that say, oh, well, this and oh, well, you shouldn't do this, or oh, that's kind of suspect. And there's nothing suspect about you. It's called entertainment and
For
entrepreneurship.
sure.
It's
For sure.
entrepreneurship.
And I embrace that. I embrace that because with this album, and I'm so thankful that you use the word vulnerable
Yeah.
for the album cover, because that's truly what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about the story and my reasons for 23. But the reality was, I wanted to be vulnerable. I wanted to have a song, because this album has 23 songs.
Yeah.
And there was no way for me to pick one picture to represent every
Right.
song, every genre. So I said I'll strip down, and strip down literally.
Yeah.
And in the same way, embrace that fact that women and people objectify you. You
Yeah.
know, people objectify you for the way you look,
Yeah.
and you can fight that,
Yeah.
or you can use that, and you can embrace that, and you can
Yeah.
be empowered by that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because people have misconceptions about
They're
people that
going
are
to
fit.
though.
They have all those things. If you
Yeah.
got a certain body, if you overweight, if you underweight, if you
Right.
muscular, if you did, people got their opinions, but it's up to you to use that
Yeah.
for whatever you need to do, if it's authentic to you. See,
Yeah.
I don't mind being naked. I don't
He
mind
said, I don't
people
mind being.
admiring me.
You
I
work
don't.
out.
I don't.
Yeah, you work
I'm
out.
and even as a kid, like I always just walked around the house in my draw. Like it was
Yeah.
just
Me
My
too.
grandma always talk about that. Like
Me too.
I'm just a naked kind of person.
Yeah, me
So
too.
embrace that.
Yeah,
Embrace the thing that is authentic to you.
yeah,
And if whatever connotation it might have, negatively or
yeah,
positively, and use that to put your business forward.
yeah.
And I think that this was an attempt to say, well, I know you're going to objectify me, but while you're objectifying me, listen to this story.
And they're
So it's a
going
little shock and a
to.
wit.
And they're going to, because honestly, that's why I was looking, even as you were talking, I was listening, but I was reading. This is art, because you see you, it's vulnerable, but you really can't objectify it. You really can't. This picture, this look says something happened. Something happened. And anybody that is empathic is going to want to listen, because I'm going. Number 23, the song is Stop Crying. I want to know what happened. So I got to get the album. You see, like my thing is, I feel that sometimes there are a whole bunch of people in your ear trying to tell you what to do with your career, and they don't have not one, not ant of their own.
Not one.
Not one. And then you're out here and they want to act like, listen, it's your career. There are no mistakes. There are decisions and lessons learned.
For sure.
So you're allowed to listen. 17 years ago when I went to Paris, they told me, you have a very androgynous look. You should be doing the women's runway shows. Your body, your face, your voice, your natural grace and carriage, you should be doing the women's shows. I was homeless in Philadelphia because my family put me out for being homosexual because they were very religious. So I was homeless here and had a place to live in Paris. And all the way in Paris, they're talking, okay, we're going to bring you in. Are you ready? I couldn't put on the wig because I cared what people thought. I cared about my
all the way in Paris.
All the way in Paris. My family, who basically disowned me. And I couldn't do it because I was scared of what they would say. It took me 17 years to put on a wig. And when I put on the wig, Jamai, my career exploded. That was literally the moment. Everybody, I had Hollywood actors and stars reach out and said, finally, you know what you're supposed to do. Because everybody knows what you're doing, but they won't tell you. They won't tell you how close you are to success. They won't tell you, and they won't tell you what you need to hear. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't hear that. Oh, well, if he figures it out, he figures it out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And that's the worst kind of way. But get it. We work in a business that is about competition.
Yeah.
I'm not for it. I'm not for the competition.
And then my thing is, and I've even to a point of probably my not detriment, but maybe affected me negatively. I don't when my shit is all encompassing, when everything that pertains to Jamai gets done by Jamai or overseen by me.
Yeah.
It's not even though, like you expressed before, social media changing things. It's like I don't even need to compete with what the industry says and with the people in the industry. I'm doing me, and it's going to be a remnant of people, a unique audience that is inspired and that is exposed to me, and the fact that they are so genuine. Shout out to all my fans around the world. I appreciate y'all. The fact that they're so interested and genuine that they tell me about their friends, they tell me about people. So I don't, this whole week alone, I've had over 20 interviews for my press week, and I don't have a publicist.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And one of you as a journalist, as an artist, as a creative, as a personality.
Yes.
I don't even have a publicist.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if you would just do what you do and fuck the industry, fuck
Yeah.
the standards, because the industry is a group of people that look at data and say this is what worked for this one person this one
Yeah.
time, and let's keep trying to create this with other people.
There's
And
no
so
course you can take for the industry.
there's no course.
All of the
There's no
greats,
course.
Babyface, Quincy, all of them, Smokey, all of them, they got in, they did something that worked, and it worked for them.
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 It worked
There
for
is
them.
no, get it. We've never had another of
We've
any of
never had
those men that
another.
I just named.
And it only worked for them at the
Yes.
time that the world was, at the
Yes.
time that music was, at the time
Mhm.
that technology. All of these layers
Yeah.
can't be duplicated. So you can't even really get advice from Quincy Jones
No, you
or
can't,
Babyface on
because it's from a certain
how you
time.
it's from a certain time. He don't know. Babyface don't know what to do in 2022 on
Yeah.
my level. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yes.
so that's why you just have to trust
Yeah.
that things will work out. That the
They strip, and it's so sad because they continue to do this to artists. They strip their self-esteem and confidence
for sure.
because they need you to be broken. They need you to be broken so that you'll listen and do what they do and get it. I probably wouldn't have done well with it with the labels anyway, because I'm defiant by nature. And you got, and get this, I'm gonna say this, you got a lot of artists right now, and it's a bad thing because it'll mess you up. That they say, I'm gonna get in just to get in, and then I'll change stuff when I get in. They're defiant by nature, but they don't realize that one contract you sign, they make sure they got you lock, stock, and barrel.
There's no trick that you can pull that they haven't
Oh,
already.
they
This is
they
what they
see
do.
it. They
This
see
is what they
it.
do.
They saw Prince walk away from Warner Brothers. They saw him change his name when they owned his trademark name and would not relinquish it to him until he could tour enough to buy it back. See, people don't understand. Like, that's what gets me.
And
Don't get me started.
he was as exceptional as one can be. He
Yes.
could come up with 100 songs in a week.
Yes.
Most of us
We looking
don't
like,
even have that.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I do. But anyway.
I mean, but I'm just saying.
But right, I understand.
And to be able to do that and be able to combat with those big, huge machine legal parties.
Yeah.
And to say that he won is relative because he won, but you know that season of his career, he never really reached that Purple Rain era again.
Right.
Don't even get me started about Prince. So you know, I'm saying this as a Prince person.
I see it with the guitar and everything. I know where it comes
man. I'm all Prince. Prince has given me the inspiration. He's given me the license.
He was one of mine.
He's given me the license to truly look beyond what is possible, what they think is possible or impossible, and what to wear, what you want to wear, and being truly who you are. And shit, I learned one instrument, I'm gonna learn another. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rules are non-existent when I follow artists like Prince. And I appreciate it. And I think there's a balance to shock and wit, which is something Prince always said all the time, and what you started the interview with is, you know, I'm gonna give you the shock. I'm gonna give you the lace. I'm gonna give you all of the freaky shit, right? I'm gonna give it to you. But once I get you, I'm gonna have some substance. I'm gonna have some wit. It's gonna be some shock with some wit. Not all shock.
Right.
And then not all boring ass wit either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta be
a marrying.
Yeah.
You
gotta bring them
and it
in.
has to be authentic to you. It has to be authentic to you. So, you know, my shock may not be in respect to everybody who does, but my shock may not be to have an OnlyFans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My shock might be to just have a new album cover.
Yeah.
And my wit may be the substance in the art. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to hear this album because
I can't wait for you to hear it.
Because I've seen the promo. Let me go to your page. I've seen the promo where you talked about she died.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I don't want you to give anything away.
Right.
But Jamai, I was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah,
I was like, but get it, don't give it away, because it is literally, you gotta listen to the story of the album. Because I was like, when I saw that and you were like, she died and blood, and I'm like, And it may, and this is the thing, like you said, you don't know who is rooting for you. You never know who's following you, believing in you, and hoping that you never quit. That they, and this is the thing, times get rough, times get tough, times get hard. You think one way is the way, and then like you said, 4 other ways open up. And that way is now obsolete. And you got to try and navigate. And with me, I had to forge the road myself. I had to literally build it. There was nobody before me.
Trail the blaze.
Yeah.
Blaze
And it was
trail.
just, and it was scary, Jamai. It was so scary because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to make a mistake.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, but get this, I made them all.
Yeah.
And now I sit on the other side of the mistake going, thank God I made that mistake, because if I didn't, I would have not known about X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm not like, with me, I'm not trying to get signed to a label. I am the label.
Right. I am the label. I'm definitely a label.
Yes, I'm the label. And so are you. So are
you.
Yeah. And
we are. And
they want to act like that. They want to act like that's a bad thing. Not in 2022. No.
Yeah, it's not.
In 2022, it's not bad.
It's not. I mean, how sad would it be for me to sign a record deal
and then
tomorrow I sign a 360 deal, and tomorrow I could post one song and I can get more press from this one song, this one viral moment,
in the press budget that they're giving you.
Than the press budget that they're giving me that I don't have to pay back anyway. And so, the reality is I wanted to share my story. Or no, that's not true. I've always battled about sharing my story. I've always battled about talking about my mom and never wanting to exploit the story.
Right.
And I feel like excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I was on TV and they wanted me to talk about it, I wasn't comfortable talking about it because it was my first time on TV.
Right.
I was very cynical, I'll admit, about the whole industry and something such a.
It's because they wanted everything from you. It's because they wanted everything from you, and your soul knew that.
Yeah, and I didn't feel comfortable. I just didn't feel comfortable. I knew I didn't control the edit. I knew that I didn't control what the public would finally see.
Yeah.
And so we went to sing a Telegram story, which was great. That worked, whatever. And people was like, you should have told that, because that's how people make it on these competition shows. No, because I want to win a competition or anything on the merit of my talent and not based off of exploiting my mother's death. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, I know that I can maybe help some people. And for me, it's a lifelong series of grief. It's not something that I'll ever stop grieving. So this was my way to tell my story and tell her story. And
I just have one question. I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
I got the impression that you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
Thank God. That's all I needed to know. Yeah. That's it.
I wasn't there. Yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I witnessed my situation was classic domestic violence.
Okay.
Classic domestic violence. I mean, and I'm learning now as I've done research. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
As I've done research, how the environment that I was in with my mother in this domestic abuse situation. I'm learning now that it is by the book a classic domestic. Most domestic violence situations have patterns and signs, and this was classic. And it went to be for the worst. Fortunately, and I've never told anybody this, I'm only telling you this here, but the reality is my mom, he always threatened to kill me. And so, the night my mom passed, we don't know, she had been fleeing from him for this period of time. And for some reason, he got her on the phone and he said something to her, and she went to him, and that's the last time anybody heard. Nobody knows what he said to her. Nobody knows why she went, but this was totally opposite of what she had been doing previously, and we believe
He might have
that.
told her that he might have. I'm just thinking
Yeah,
here, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
surrounding
that is my belief. That is my belief. And so with that, here we are now. So a life was literally given or taken for me to have my life.
yeah,
So what am I going to do with it? You get what I'm saying? What am I going to how am I going to fulfill this? Because I don't want my mom's death to be in vain. So I'm gonna live this shit up, and I'm gonna do what it is that I was born to do to the best of my ability, because she gave up her life for me.
can I just stop you for a second? Jamai, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
I want you to understand that. Jamai,
Thank you.
you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
You are. There's nothing else. There's not, oh, if I do this or if I do that, or if I do,
Mhm.
you live freely every day. And that was what your mother wanted. Free. You are her child. You are a grown man doing what he loves to do in a country where Black men don't have too many options.
We can't do shit.
Okay? You are doing it. And that's
Thank
all I'm
you.
gonna say about that. We're not gonna stay there.
Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you.
but you are
Thank you.
doing, you are living. She's so proud.
Thank you.
She's so proud.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I sure I believe that, and I am she inspires me every day. She inspired this album.
yeah,
The title track 23 is
yeah,
because her 23rd, she was murdered when she was just 23 years old. I
right,
was 6.
right,
Uh, she was murdered, and what people don't understand about losing a parent or losing a
yeah,
loved one, a lot of times when you lose them, once you get to that age, you think that you're going to die too. It's just
yup,
something.
yup,
You think that if you know, you know.
yup,
So, and I had passed that age, but when her 23rd death anniversary came around, it was a realization that, wow, so
yeah,
she has been gone just as long as she was alive. So I'm
yeah.
more familiar with her not being here than
Then
the
you
years of
are,
her actually being here.
yeah,
And to me, that was another level of grief because
yeah,
I was a kid. I was 6. I
yeah,
remember a lot. I know a lot. I have lots of videos and a lot of things, but um, my grief wasn't in real time. My
yeah,
grief was as much as a 6-year-old could grieve.
yeah.
Uh, and so as an adult,
When you
as a
fully
man and
understand,
dating and I'm
yeah,
and all those different things about life,
yeah,
and my mom being so much of my identity,
yeah,
so much grief comes from that and understanding what really happened and knowing the
yeah,
story. And so it got to this place where I said, I'm gonna do 23 songs, and I said I'll release them as singles every week for 6 months.
yeah.
That was the original plan, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a producer.
Mm-hmm.
I barely know how to play piano. I could play
Right,
guitar. I just
right,
learned guitar, and I said I don't know how to work Logic. I don't know how to do none of that.
right. Pro Tools,
And
right.
I just went. I just went for it, and I wrote from my heart. I woke
Yeah,
up in the middle of the night singing songs and writing lyrics and concepts, and I was, relationship I was in at the time and the issues with that and all of my experiences up
yeah,
until this point I put in there, and I didn't limit myself because I wasn't paying an engineer to
yeah,
record me. I wasn't collaborating with another songwriter or
yeah,
paying $100 hours at the studio. I was in
yeah,
my own studio. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna try this doo-wop song. I'm gonna try this opera. I'm gonna give this jazz a try. And
yeah,
all of that was what created this project.
yeah,
And so then another thing like we've been talking about, um, the industry standards. You know, industry, you do an EP, 4 or 5 songs, you do
Right.
an album, 7 to 10 songs.
Right.
And I was thinking in my own way, I'm gonna do a single because you gotta stay in people's head. You gotta keep it fresh. You gotta no, I'm
No.
gonna do an album. I don't care if your album is 7 songs or 10
Right.
songs or the standard is 12. My album has 23 songs. It's
Right.
gonna be a lot for the people to chew on.
Yeah.
And but this is my story. This is my experience.
This is
And
going to
as
be
a
one of your
creative,
greatest. It's going to be one
I
of your
create
greatest.
I create so much
Mhm.
that these songs are not bound to represent me another year from now.
Yeah.
I'll be on something else.
Yeah.
So I'm not just gonna put 5 of the songs out or 3 of the songs out because the rest of the songs may not even represent me as God continues to make me evolve and I grow. I might be singing about it in a whole nother realm in 6 months. It
Right.
changes daily. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I am the label, like you said. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I am the label. I am the one who has created it. I own the art. I own all the intellectual
Yeah.
property around it.
Yeah.
And this is the art. And I believe that the right people will hear it
Yeah.
and it'll inspire and it'll change their lives and it'll do what it needs to do. All I have to do is put it out.
Yeah.
Because that's what we don't realize as artists.
That's your
It's
job.
not really art until it's published.
Yeah.
It's not really art until you give it.
Yeah.
That's our that is our duty as
Yeah.
artists
Yeah.
to create and publish it. What would it be if God just thought of the world or
Yeah.
we
And
need
never.
and it never formed. We
Yeah.
gotta put it out. We gotta do it and let the chips fall.
Barbara
You know what I'm saying?
Streisand, Barbara Streisand is one of my favorite, like my biggest inspirations in my career. She said in one of her Broadway albums, she said, "A vision is just a vision if it's only in your head. If no one gets to hear it, it's as good as dead."
It's as good as that. It's in the grave with you. When you
Yeah.
go, it's right there. It's
Yeah.
in the. They buried it right with
Yeah.
all of your
Yeah.
bones.
You literally, and sadly, the graveyard is the richest place in the world because so many talented people undiscovered, they wouldn't try, but they wouldn't try. Jamai, you got to be so radical.
You gotta be radical.
So radical.
You do.
Like, but get this, it's not just entertainment. To do anything in life.
Anything.
You got to be so radical. When I came here 15 years ago to live with my grandmother so that she could kind of help me with my mental health battle, she taught me you got to think outside the box. Stop doing what is predictable. Stop doing what is expected. Do what you feel. If the line says go across here and you feel like squiggling, squiggle up the middle.
Squiggle.
Up the middle.
Squiggle.
Like that's how I got to where I got to.
And we don't live in a society that allows us to be that.
It doesn't
we gotta
praise
fight
that.
Against that.
It doesn't praise that. It praises everybody to look the same, everybody to buy the same red bottoms, everybody to buy the same, purse, all of that. Look like that. Do you have this? This is the latest. This is what came out this season. You wear this. This is what coming out next season. You wear that. No. I'm going to be my own person. I'm not going to be a clone of anything or anyone. And then if I'm going to do that, why would my art do that? It wouldn't. No, it doesn't represent that.
It wouldn't, because there is somebody that is a consumer that is like, I'm so tired of hearing the same thing. I don't see nobody that looks like me, that sounds like me, that can relate to my experiences. And that is what God created all of us to minister to those specific people. You know what I'm saying? I created you to have this experience, to tell this story for these people to hear it so they can have somebody to relate to. But if we all gonna fit into a standard,
I was going to say someone said that to me last night. Like, she was crying because she said God created you. When she was talking to me, she said God created you to restore spirituality to the LGBT community, because they want to tell you that you can't be in touch with God, and I'm in touch with God every day.
Right.
I'm a shaman. prophet, oracle, seer, healer. I do this for a living. This is why I can do the work that I do so effortlessly. It's because I'm constantly talking to spirit and the impartation of God and writing. Like I'm one of those artists where that's why I said I do, because what my debut album had 23 songs on 24. I did a deluxe the next day. It has 50 songs on it. Like I write like that because literally my ancestors, my uncle that passed, that I didn't think I would see 40 because he died at 40. That you really would hit that on the head. He died at 40, so I didn't think I would see 40. And I'm turning 40 in September. It's his voice that I hear singing melodies to me, singing songs to me, and I just write them and record them and go to the studio. I just go to the studio. Now I have a question. This album, I saw that you could pre-order on Bandcamp. Will it be available on all streaming platforms?
It will be available on all
I was getting ready to say,
so I can look. So we could talk. So the reason I did it the pre-order exclusively through Bandcamp is because this is the only platform that musicians you can actually purchase the project, and I'll get an email the moment you purchase it. I'll get to see who purchased it and know who's supporting me. If you go iTunes and you buy it, you go to, I don't know who's buying it, and then I don't get a true report in real time of the sale. So right now with Bandcamp, I know exactly how many sales I have. I know who purchased it. And so this is just a way for me to try to reach the Billboard chart and be able to get as many pre-orders to go count as my first week sales. But it's also a way for me to see who the hell loves my music. It's a way for me to, I mean, it's great. And I know,
why are you going to make me go over to Bandcamp? I got Apple Music.
I'm trying to help you out. But look, but the reality is after you purchase it, you can still, it'll be available on all platforms at midnight on that. You can stream it and everything. But this was my way that if you support me, I never did a GoFundMe. I never did. If you support me, help me reach the Billboard chart. You know what I'm saying? Go help me reach the Billboard charts. You can purchase up to 4 copies with the same credit card. It's name your price. So if you want to pay $10 and get 4 copies, you can do that. If you want to just get 1 copy and pay $100, what people do, you can do that. This is a way for my fans to show their support.
Yeah, fans around the world.
You know what I mean?
And I was going to say, did you let Japan know you get ready to drop?
Yes. I'm so grateful for the fans and the support across the world, man. And I'm just trying to stay creative, and I'm not trying to stay creative, but trying to continue to put out the product, and the content that supports the music, But
I don't want you to overwork yourself, because Jamai, you don't have to.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
I know, because I work like that. I work like that too. But what I'm saying to you is, you are an artist deserving of the attention, the royalty, and all. Like, I don't think, I keep saying it to you and you take it in, but I don't think you realize what I'm saying to you. I've been following you for a long time. I've seen people praise you. I've seen people dish you in positions of power. And I want you to know that everyone that dished you is an asshole. They made the biggest mistake of their life, and they're going to eat shit for the rest of their lives.
Eat shit.
Okay, because you are the real deal.
Thank you so much.
You are the real deal. And I need everybody watching to understand that. You are the real deal. Now tell me, are you in Philadelphia? Because this is a beautiful backdrop. I'm loving this room.
I just bought a home, and it's not in Philadelphia, but it's near Philadelphia. This is my home. Yeah.
Okay. So you ain't no poor wayfaring entertainer, honey. You got
Praise the Lord. And that's another thing that I'll give all praises to God, because as a musician, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I don't have no 9-to-5. So if anybody know anything about this market, this house market, the real estate, is crazy. And I have a beautiful, safe home, private, in the cut. And I'm able to even evolve more with my music. And if y'all see my TikToks, I'll be showing my house a little bit. You know what I mean? My new crib. But Yeah, so
But can
it's
I
been
say
a
something to
blessing.
you? Can I say something to
Yeah.
you? It's only the first of many houses.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
It's the first of
For
many.
sure. I received that.
It's the
Indeed.
first of many.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I see so much. You know what's so funny? Visually, I see the divine unrolling a board. And
Mm,
on this board, there are gold coins. It's not checkers, but it's not checkers. This is just a board. And he's
right.
unfurling the board. And on this board, he's just placing these gold, and I mean, they're solid gold pieces. And this is concerning your life. And
Wow.
he's just checking and balancing. He's just checking and
Wow.
balancing. He's moving like there are coins at the bottom, and he's just moving them where he wants them. And I'm just watching him do that with his hands. You are
Thank you, Lord.
very, very gifted. You are
Thank you so
very
much.
gifted. And as long as you maintain your identity, you will
Mm,
walk smack into what I'm seeing.
thank you
You
so
will
much.
walk,
I received it.
yeah, you will walk smack. It's so close if you breathe on it. You got it.
Mm,
You got it. That's what people
appreciate
think.
you.
People think, oh, because that's the thing. You know, artists, we think, oh, I'm gonna have to grind so long because I'm by myself. No, no, no.
That's where
No,
the
no, no.
favor comes.
Not by
Yeah.
yourself. Not by
Mm,
yourself. Not
mm.
at all.
And I understand. I understand that it's not by myself
Mhm.
because see what I tell people all the time is I've been singing.
Yeah.
I've been singing for years,
Yeah.
and in my opinion, I probably don't sing much better than I did 6 or 7 years ago.
Yes, you
But
did.
the money that I make
Yeah.
is the same me. It's the same artist.
Yeah.
The money that I make is no is literally quadruple
Yes.
what I made from singing
Yes.
6 or 7 years ago. So
Yes.
the reality is God has released a favor in my life.
Yes.
I understand it. So it's like we gotta understand that as amazing and as
Yes.
talented as we are,
Yes.
it's God that blesses us with these circumstances, these opportunities, these scenarios. Because what good is a gift
Yeah.
or a talent if there's no void for it?
Yeah.
Because God creates the void.
Yep.
You have to have a puzzle is only as good
Yep.
as it is once it's put into a shape that
Yep.
it fits
It
into.
fits the
And
space.
God creates that space for us. They
Yeah.
say in church they used to say, it's a blessing is tailor made for me. But
Yes.
that's the thing. And I'm just truly grateful that God has like found it fit to continue to bless me. And although life is hard, but life is going to be hard. It's
Yeah.
about the strength that we possess
Yeah.
and where we get our source, God being my source, where we pull our energy from, where we pull our hope from. And that's just for me how I live my life, how I try to live my life.
Yeah. You know, I used to be like that. I used to say to God, I used to be like, oh, once I make it, no more struggle, no more strife, no more pain, no more ups, no
that
more downs. And he said to me,
ain't true.
babe, yeah, he said, baby, you're gonna have those all your life. You'll just be
They ain't,
more
they ain't
equipped,
start yet.
right? He's like, because you know what Puffy say, more money,
More
more
money,
problems,
more, and that ain't
more,
no
more, more,
lie.
more IRS knocking on your
More,
door. Like, come on,
man,
like these people don't know. But you know what?
they
It's
don't
worth it
know.
because you said it.
Right there.
One song can change your life. One song.
For
Well,
sure.
actually, I'm living proof. One song changed my life. Stoic. It was it was profiled in the newspaper, which is like the Times here, but it was in London that one of the editor's daughter of the magazine, or of the newspaper, the London Examiner. I took a break because I was burnt out. I took a break, and this was years ago. I want to say 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back, they wrote a manifesto on me. And
Wow.
she said that she had had some ups and downs in her life, and that listening to me got her through suicidal attempts, things
Wow.
like that. And she told her father about me, and he published a manifesto in his paper and said, oh, the song Stoic, and talked about it. And he also talked about the fact that my name is the Queen of Shade, but I'm not shading people. He talked about
How
how
about that?
I'm giving shade as like a tree and fruit and rest and homing and covering. And she
Oxygen.
said her favorite song was Stoic, and stoic went, and I got all these papers from all of the distributors talking about we need mechanical royalties or mechanical licensing consent from you. And I'm like, what? And my lawyer's like, congratulations, you're mainstream. And I'm like, where's my Grammy? Where's my this? Where's my that? I'm not mainstream.
About time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Like, at the same time, it just, I don't want what I see the stars with. Like you said, my blessing, my wants, my dream is tailor-made for me. I don't want that.
Yeah, and you get to define that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
want to stand on stage every night, Jamai. I don't want to stand on stage every night.
Right.
That's
And for me,
killer.
that's the thing. The crazy thing for me is I do.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and it's funny because that's the balance that you have to understand about what it is. Because I always use like football players where like it's not healthy, it can be damaging to your brain.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't stop doing it if you paid them not to. You get what I'm saying? For me, performing is what I breathe to do.
You're a consummate performer.
So that's just the makeup of who I am. And so you gotta do the thing that works for you and that makes you tick. And then you need to find a way to make multiple streams of income from that. Because so that you can continue to do it. But think about it. I can't perform every day if that medium is not paying me to stay healthy and to stay fit and to stay safe and stay, you know what I'm saying? Stay mentally free. So it has to be a lot of work that goes along with that. But you gotta do what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay for people to do it and not you do it.
Yeah, I have a vocal question for you because you've been singing for so long and you sing very passionately and you use all of your range. Are you taking care of your voice vocally? Because it's been so long.
I am.
Make sure because I don't want the polyps or those things. Like
I could do better. I definitely could do better. I am typically one thing I know about myself is I do the most damage to my voice when I'm stressed.
Okay.
Most damage for me when I'm worried, when I'm anxious, when I'm stressed, when I'm overwhelmed because I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
That is what takes the toll on my voice the most.
Okay.
But when I'm rested and when I'm, when I'm clear-headed or when I'm focused is when the best. But when I allow life or things or me, because that's the thing, a lot of times it don't even really be that. It'll be our internal struggle within ourselves and in our minds of how perfect we want things to be and how much better we want to be that we're not. And that's what adds the stress and anxiety to it. But it's always a battle. It's always more place to evolve and get to do better at.
Because people don't understand that. They think, oh, entertainment is so charmed. Like, we have to rest. We do. We have to rest more than most people. Because we're giving so much of our actual body function. My vocal coach is a very, very brilliant woman, and her husband was the first producer I ever worked with. He used to tell me all the time, don't eat before you sing because your body will be doing two things, in the same area. How are you digesting food trying to expand your diaphragm? So like, little things like that. I realized that like we really do have to take the best care of ourselves possible. It has to be peaceful. We can't be stressed. We can't be strained. Like my grandmother, she doesn't bother me up here. I'm up here. I've got the whole top of the house. She's got the whole bottom. And it's just like, she knows when I'm done working, I climb in my bed. And I need to recover. And that's the part that people don't see is that I need hours to recover.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was done.
But I think a lot of times what happens is because the gift comes so natural, a lot of times when I started singing, I sang all the time. I sang in churches with terrible sound systems. I sang in choirs with people that you had to sing over because they was out of tune, and you try to carry that. You got to carry.
That's a lot
all
of wear
those
and
things
tear.
that are wear and tear on your voice.
Yeah.
And you get spoiled because something that a more privileged
Yeah.
kid he might have been a young kid and he know all these exercises and he
Yeah.
knew he can't do this, but he's not naturally gifted
Yeah.
and do all of that. And I could have ate a whole Thanksgiving meal,
Yeah.
sleepy, tired, work the job,
And
and
still sing.
come and sing and do. And so we get spoiled
Yeah.
because we don't think that not doing the proper practices to
Yeah.
take care of ourselves
Yeah.
won't eventually wear and tear on us. But the
Yeah.
reality is it will.
It will.
You know,
I
just
don't play
because you've
about
been
my voice.
persevering through things, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't play about my voice. I rested a
Yeah.
lot. I
Yeah.
rested a lot. I don't play about my voice. When I'm done using it, I'm done using it. And I've learned to just speak in a tone where I don't yell, because I was getting hoarse a lot with me being 40. I was getting hoarse a lot because I was like angry at my family or my brother or something going on. And I'm up there yelling with them. And then I'm hoarse for a month. It didn't heal right away.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, my
Yeah.
first, the pollen, my first, in 2018, I recorded my first album and I had an upper respiratory infection. But being a professional, I sang around it. I sang the
Right.
whole
Oh
album
yeah.
around it. But my grandmother was like, don't ever do that again. Don't do
Mm.
that again. Because you could have caused real serious damage to these cords. And people don't think like that. See, and you're right. That's why they like artists to be super, super young. Because you can stay out all night and party and do the and the and be all right. I ain't want to say it, and do that and still get up and do what you need to do. But as you get older, now you require steam baths and stuff like that. Like Whitney used to always do the steam bath and things like that, because you're of a particular age now and you have a
Sure.
thing going on. And one thing, like, just to say this real quick, one thing about Whitney, she was one of the greatest voices I ever drew to. And one thing that I hated was that she always had to sing those ballads live. Those things.
I don't think it'll ever truly be understood.
Like,
and
I would hear her like at the Grammys at Radio City Music Hall when she cracked in the middle of I Will Always Love You. I didn't say, oh, she made a mistake. I said, she's tired. She's tired. Because they got her singing, in the studio all day. And now they whisk her over to the radio hall. Her
life.
And that's
life.
Yeah, and people do not, yes, and life. And that's what people do not understand. Like, they want to say, oh, because I don't work a normal 9 to 5. Honey, I work 100 hours a week so I don't have to work 40 for someone else. Okay? And that is grueling. It's grueling. But like you said, I'm prepared to do it because I don't want to work for nobody else. I can't be doing that. So I just want to say congratulations on your home, because I can tell it's so peaceful. I see your plants. Do you have any pets?
Do have some pets. Music, Izzy.
Oh, what do we have? Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yay! Frenchies?
This is Izzy.
You got Frenchies. You got French bulldogs.
This is Izzy.
Oh.
Say hi, Izzy.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is Izzy.
Oh, hi, Izzy.
She looks away.
Yeah. Oh.
Music, come here, music.
Oh.
This is music.
Oh.
He running away from me. Oh, cut my light off.
You want to play?
Let me see. I need the light off first. Come here, music. Let me see. Come here, buddy. This is music.
Oh, you got them in the same color. You got them in the same color.
Yeah. And now Izzy's getting jealous because music.
Yeah, that's how they are. They're like kids.
Hey,
I
buddy,
haven't had. No, but you know what? That's what I like to see. I asked that question because the real entertainers have real lives.
Yeah.
It's not all that party and all of that. We trying to make
more.
sure we got money in the bank so we can retire.
Listen, I got to eat.
Right?
Listen,
right?
And
we like,
understand.
baby, y'all can go ahead and have all the little part, child. I'm going home and make sure that check cleared.
Friday and a Saturday, that's
Yeah.
still getting up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I
Sundays.
just,
That's
yeah.
that's you that's what that is. And when a check calls,
Yeah.
you go.
Gotta
You do
answer.
you make whatever arrangements that need to be
Yup, you
made
gotta
and
answer.
be in New York in 3 hours. And that's
And then that means you got to have a dog sitter and all of that.
it is.
People.
And what people don't realize as entrepreneurs, I'm
Yeah.
sure in entrepreneurship in general,
Yeah.
but also in music,
Yeah.
you might get a $10,000 check this
Yeah.
week and not get another check for 3 months.
Tell them.
You know what I'm
Tell
saying? So
them.
you might get okay today.
Tell them.
I got
Tell them
that's
when
the
it's good,
reality
it's
of it. So
good. My
and
friend,
the
my friend is a fashion icon. His name is Benson McDoon. He just received an honorary fashion award and medal from the Queen of England, even though he's in
wow.
Paris. Yeah, he is fashion, literally. But he always says it. He says the life of an entertainer is when you have it, you have it. When you don't, you don't. And see, my reason for entrepreneurship is I'm trying to have it when I shouldn't have it. I'm trying to, I want to have it always.
Creating some other shit to make me have it.
Yes. That's what I'm doing.
Because what people don't realize is, and I learned it the hard way, is no matter how sunny it is, it will rain. Like it's going to rain again.
Yes.
It's going to rain. And thankfully, when it's raining, you know that
the
sun is going to come back out.
Yeah.
But when the sun is out, please prepare yourself for the rain. It's going to rain.
Yeah, it's going to rain.
It's going to rain. And if it don't rain, that means you dead. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's going to rain. Right. Prepare yourself for the rain.
Right. So tell me, give me 3 words that inspire you.
God.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah.
And music.
I knew it. Get it. I sat because I waited. I waited to see if you were going to say music. And you did. Because Jamai, you're one of the hardest working musicians I know.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are.
you so much.
And my prayer is in these next 5 years that you don't have to work like that anymore.
I receive it.
Right.
I receive that. I receive it.
Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
I'm Jamai, and you can find me at JAMAI Music on all platforms. So Jamai Music on TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. And I also have a singing telegram service where I come out to you and I sing to you. I sing to your lady, your husband, your mama, your cousin. And I come out with my suit and my guitar and I serenade your loved one. And I sing a variety of songs with some cool amenities like wine and roses and chocolates. I show up in person at your door singing to you. I also do virtual singing telegrams, but that business is J Telegrams, JTELEGRAMS. And my album 23 is 23 songs, 0 producers. 23 songs, 0 samples, 1 producer, 1 songwriter, all within one singer, all within 1 artist, which is me. I'm telling my story, and I think you will be amazed and pleasantly surprised because there's something on there for you. Help me reach the Billboard charts by purchasing up to 4 copies through bandcamp.com, which is the link in my bios, and it's jamaimusic.bandcamp.com. You can get the album 23. It is released on Saturday, which is my mother's, which would be her 50th birthday.
Wow.
So Saturday, May 7th, the day before Mother's Day, is the day that it'll be released. And I am just so grateful that you're even here watching the Queen of Shade and myself at these stages in our career. And we both are just grateful for the hundreds of thousands of people that watch us, that sees it, that will see this, and that will continue to support both of us. So, and I want to thank you, Queen, for always being a light. Thank you for always being a light. Thank you for always being a voice and being a light and just continuing to follow through with all of your passions and just being great, man. I truly appreciate you, and I wish and pray the best for you. Uh, Continued success.
Thank you. I've got some
Keep
urns.
slaying these motherfuckers.
I've got some, yes, I've got some urns in the fire. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Jamai. And like he said, his album 23 comes out May the 7th. Don't go anywhere. Say goodbye, but don't go anywhere.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you. 23 is out Saturday. Let's go.
All right. So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to